colors, sunlight.
Have you ever stopped yourself and asked yourself, am I truly living the life I've dreamt of? If the answer is not a resounding yes, then it's time to shift gears. Hi, my name is Raina, and this is Small Retired Life. On my channel, we talk about all things retirement and how to live a small but a meaningful retired life. Basically, I have 5 steps that I used when I was looking at creating the kind of retired life that I wanted. And we'll go through them one by one. The first step is clarity. It's really thinking about, what does my ideal day look like? What am I doing? Who am I with? What's going on around me? Where am I? And by answering those questions, you at least get a bit of a blueprint of what you want a specific day to look like. And once you have that day set out, you have to think about the fact that your retirement is days and days of decisions of what you want your day to look like. So you need a blueprint and clarity by identifying the key moments in your day, and by identifying what makes your perfect day will give you this blueprint as to at least a little snippet of what an ideal life would look like. When I was facing the thought of retirement, I'll have to be honest, I hadn't really given a huge amount of thought to what my retirement life was going to look like and what I was going to be doing. And I was prepared financially, but I was not prepared mentally. And I really didn't know what I wanted. Sometimes we think we know what we want, but I would put it out there that often the things that we want or that we think we want have been conditioned into our psyche by society, by other people, telling us that this is the thing that we should be doing when we retire. You need to clarify what kind of things actually truly do make you happy. Is it travel? Is it being at home reading a good book with a cup of tea? Is it kind of a combination of the two? I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities. Is it going out there and maybe starting a new business or doing something that you've always really wanted to do but never had the time to? Is it just hanging out and spending time with friends, or volunteering at your favorite SPCA and looking after animals or something like that? Sit down and clarify what it is that makes you happy, what makes you feel good, what you enjoy doing, and think about when you have a day off, what are the things that you like to do? Step number 2 is aligning your desires with some action. You need to bridge the gap between where you currently are to where you want to be. So an example of that is, if you like to be in a very clean and a very sparse environment, but you're living in a cluttered home, then you need to declutter. It's these concrete steps that you need to take to actually make that ideal life come true. If you are, let's say, pre-retirement and you still have a few years to go and you're wanting to retire early, or you're wanting to do certain things in your retirement, you need to realistically look at your finances and say to yourself, am I going to be able to do those things that I want to do? Am I going to be able to have that ideal life that I want? It's kind of like, if you long to have some adventures, then you need to plan for those experiences. You need to plan what those adventures are going to be and how you are going to achieve them. What kind of things do you need? I think the key to step number 2 is to take intentional steps to achieve the things that you dream. Step number 3, in my view, is the hardest step, and that's letting go of anything that doesn't serve you or that prohibits you from getting to your ideal life. That could be getting rid of things, getting rid of people, getting rid of a certain mindset. You need to be surrounded by people and things that align with your ambitions and with your goals. You need to ask hard questions such as, is this serving me? Is this adding to my life? Is this taking me in the direction that I want to be going in? Sometimes that's hard. Sometimes there's people around us that we've gathered because so for example, sometimes your social circle are people within your industry group or within your choice of career. And the only reason you have a relationship with these people is because you have a commonality in career choice or business. But sometimes these people will hold you back from making decisions that are right for you, because there's this tendency to groupthink when we're in social circles like that. And groupthink is a dangerous thing, because groupthink makes you actually believe that you want something because everyone else around you is telling you that you want it. And in actual fact, it is not the thing you want. It is not the thing that's the best for you. You need to shed the group thing in order to make decisions that are right for you. And then you need to have the willingness to get rid of the things that in actual fact don't align with your values or keep you from achieving the goal that you want to achieve. And let me tell you, that is difficult. Now, I can't say I've had to shed people in my past. I've never really done like huge friendships with people that I directly worked with. Yes, I had colleagues and we got along and we went out for coffee and that type of thing, but I wouldn't consider those people influential to my well-being and to the decisions that I make. But many people have a personality where they unwittingly do kind of fall into the trap of groupthink, and they want people to like them, they want to be admired or whatever the case is, and so they'll often make decisions without thinking about, is this the right decision for me? So in this step, it's about identifying those kinds of things. It's also identifying physical issues that could prevent you from leading a retired life that's quality, that's a good life, a healthy life. Are you eating too much? Are you smoking too much? Are you drinking too much? You also have to look at some physical things that could be impeding your success towards having a healthy retired life. An example would be a poor diet, or not exercising, or smoking, or drinking too much. You should identify some of these bad habits and work towards eliminating them from your life, so that when you do get to that place where you can actually have the life that you want, you are healthy, both in body and in mindset as well. If you have bad habits, such as you're negative or critical, or, all of us have things that aren't good. We should identify those and work on minimizing those things. Now, they never go away because, quite honestly, we often are who we are, but we can certainly work on being better and being more positive, more confident, or whatever the situation calls for. The one thing I would say that I really had a huge issue with once I retired was settling my brain and getting it through my head that I had time to do things. I had time to think about things. I was so conditioned to feel that I always had to be productive. I always had to be busy. I always had to be thinking about the next step. I always had to have all these goals and to-do lists and all of that kind of thing. And it made me jittery, it made it hard to sleep at night. I really had issues with busy brain. So those are things that I really had to work on. I had to work on not being critical, because I worked in a corporate environment and it was easy to be critical because you spent your whole day looking at how you could improve something because it was never good enough. So you had to be critical. And that kind of fell into other aspects of my life. And getting rid of that was really hard. Getting to a level of chill was really hard. But if you can get there, if you can work on some of these things that hold you back, you will be in a better place to actually identify what you want and what kind of life you want to have. When you're doing something, or you're going out somewhere, or you're saying yes to something, think about the question, do I really want to do this, or is this going to drain my soul? And be honest with your answers. And if the answer is that this is not going to add happiness to your life, then you need to take a serious look as to why you're doing it. Step number 4 kind of falls a little bit into step number 3, and it's just prioritizing your well-being. And that's where that whole, taking care of your physical health and ensuring that you're exercising, you're eating well, that you have a good diet, that you keep your brain healthy and in a healthy place. Those are so important because, again, decision making becomes a little bit clearer, a little bit easier if physically you're in a good place. If you're having health issues, there's this tendency sometimes for people to go into retirement and all of a sudden they're like, I'm old now, so I have health issues. I don't like that because it's so unnecessary. I think that you can really work on your health, you can have better health, and I actually know people that went into retirement and they became healthier. Part of that was time. They had more time to focus on their health, eat better, cook good food, exercise, that type of thing. But it certainly is easier to create the life that you want if you can make decisions from a healthy place. Don't ignore your physical health and your mental well-being. Finally, number 5, stay open and flexible. Life is never a straight path. When I was 18, I had certain dreams and certain beliefs about what my life would look like. And my life now is completely different. It's completely different. And it's because the journey to get here had so many different pathways. The one thing that I can honestly say that helped me to get to the place where I feel really good now and I enjoy my life, I love my life, is that I always had the ability to pivot. I didn't brood about bad things happening to me. I acknowledged when something bad happened. I acknowledged if I was unhappy or if I was scared, but I always focused on how I could make that work for me for the better. It's controlling what you can control. That kind of an attitude really helped me forge the life where I'm at now and helped me identify and create the life that I wanted to live. You need to be able to pivot. You need to be resilient. Resilience is probably one of the greatest attributes, in my opinion, that a person can foster, because resilience is what allows you to pivot into a positive direction when negative things happen. Be open and embrace change, because change, again, can be an opportunity. Instead of dreading change, yes, change makes us nervous, but instead of dreading it, be open to the opportunities that change brings. So what small step can you take today towards your ideal retired life? I would love to hear some of your thoughts. And if any of you had kind of an unusual journey, or you're leading a life that you never thought you were going to live, I would love to hear your comments and share your story in the comment section below. I really thank you for joining me today and supporting my channel, watching my videos, and I will see you all next week at our regular time. Bye!